As a result, now we are not only increasing in capacities, we also have more features both in our technology and our product outcome. And most importantly, we are having a privilege to be exposed to global networks that will benefit from our solutions.
This program has helped us grow our impact and business idea. We are now implementing the ABIC pilot projects in Breakout region. The other 3 projects are under negotiation in progress.
The most impactful activity from the program from UNDP and INTLab was the desirability assessment process. This has helped us validate our ideas before committing to use resources and to make sure that our solution align with stakeholder needs and market demands.
The program also highlights the impact the startups create within their local communities and ecosystems, driving sustainable growth and positive change where it matters most.
Di sini kami menghadapi banyak tantangan, seperti perubahan iklim yang terjadi di dalam kehidupan kita sehari-hari, yaitu seperti banjir. Hal ini sangat mengganggu dan menghambat aktivitas sehingga mempengaruhi penghasilan harian kami. Dari penjualan biskuit ini kita dapat memperoleh penghasilan untuk ekonomi kami.
Kami Conselho Suku fatumasi pronto serviço muito com bambu para começar tal fatin produção bambu ideia suku fatumasi bele for serviço baitnya jovem sira nebe makoras na lockdown laia serviço taba maioria jovem barquena sida na escola toda tiha.
Okay, this project, the vouchers redemption, actually create more awareness for people to segregate the bins, the e-waste properly. So all this, it encourage them to segregate properly, and then they will come back to redeem the vouchers.
So with this project, I've learned more about saving the environment, sustainability. And it really, touched my heart, so that I'd like to get more people involved in this.
Nowadays, it's about the global warming, and also it's everything we would like to come to taking care. It's about the sustainable, and also it's about the environment, especially for the young children and maybe some of the young generation. So they can learning and also doing together. To be the world better as well.
The blue economy is key to achieving our climate goals, and innovators across the ASEAN region are at the heart of this mission, driving solutions that protect our planet and shape a sustainable future. Together, we're making a difference. Let's continue to innovate, impact, and inspire. In ASEAN, a new generation of blue innovators is rising. They are driving bold, transformative ideas and delivering cutting-edge solutions that uplift their local communities. They're not just imagining the future, they are building it.
There were 50 billion single-use throwaway coffee cups sold every single year. And we're trying to create a viable alternative for coffee shops and for customers to be able to replace single-use throwaway coffee cups with a returnable cup scheme.
Living among the abundant agricultural waste in Mekong Delta, and Vietnam is also the agricultural countries. We generate more than 100 million tons of agricultural waste per year. So we develop a pilot solution that make out of the agricultural waste. So by doing this, we are able to minimize waste, we maximize the resource efficiency, and also reduce the demand on virgin material.
For the local community, they are incentivized to get involved because we actually buy the recyclables from them. Aside from the additional income, they also benefit from an elevated quality of life because of the cleaner environment. where almost everyone understands the value of waste.
The ASEAN Blue Innovation Challenge program is here to power 60 groundbreaking startups from across ASEAN, nourishing fresh innovations and solutions to the blue economy. It's more than support, it's about building capabilities, forging connections with investors, partners and clients, as well as unlocking the full potential of these visionary entrepreneurs.
The UNDP program has catalyzed a joint venture between Climate Foundation, Seaforestation.co, and the Aquaculture Group. It has accelerated the deployment of our solutions by allowing us to build a manufacturing capability in the post-war area of Western Mindanao.
During our workshop and mentorship with ABIC, we were able to see our challenges and opportunity clearly. As a result, now we are not only increasing in capacities, we also have more features both in our technology and our product outcome. And most importantly, we are having a privilege to be exposed to global networks that will benefit from our solutions.
This program has helped us grow our impact in business idea. We are now implementing the ABIC pilot projects in Breakout region. The other 3 projects are under negotiation in progress.
The most impactful activity from the program from UNDP and INTLAB was the desirability assessment process. This has helped us validate our ideas before committing to use resources and to make sure that our solution align with stakeholder needs and market demands.
The program also highlights the impact these startups create within their local communities.
Okay, it's time.
Driving sustainable growth and positive change.
All right, it's the end of the break. I invite our commentators to come back to their seats. And the first venture of the second part of Stream 1 is going to be Collabit. All right. Okay. The first venture of the second part, Collabit, is starting. All right, and for another 10 ventures for the second part.
Hello. Hi. Good afternoon, guys. What if we can use marine waste to solve nutrition gaps problem? I'm Michela, the tuna girl, and Collabit is Indonesia marine biotech that transform marine waste into high-value marine nutrition. And actually, we stand for Collaboration Bitung, which is the tuna city of Indonesia. Do you know Indonesia is the largest producer of tuna? With over 1,000 fish processors, we supply up to 15% of the world tuna supply. Sadly, 50% of it is actually thrown away, polluting the ocean, creating methane gas and ocean acidification. With circular blue economy principle, we capture this underutilized fish head bones and the side trim of the marine industry and transform it into high-value marine ingredients like collagen, fish oil, fish peptides, and direct it into the growing FMCG market in Indonesia, which currently Indonesia still imports. Feed additives is $50 billion industry, and right now it's a lost value of opportunity as Indonesia still imports these ingredients. Currently, our competitors are overseas, and the local players like Java, they actually are not using the tuna side stream. We work by producing marine ingredients, and we have plans to innovate on every part of the fish. In the future, we can even work on other seafood like shrimp and seaweed as well. Our first traction is actually marine collagen from the tuna skin, and the second product is the fish peptides that is a biostimulant that can be directed for aquaculture and farming and also agriculture industry. In the near future, our roadmap will include working on our plug-and-play extraction solutions that to bring the technology in the rural parts of Indonesia, empowering communities and bringing back the power to anyone that has the marine waste. Our go-to-market strategy is working with the current FMCG and B2B brands that are already using marine ingredients and feed additives and substitute them with the local produce. Anyone that wants to improve their product nutrition. And we have already secured $50,000 grants and for $150,000 contracts. And our collagen facility has already been completed as well and start production. So Meet Fish Avengers, we have over 60 years of industry experts, both in biotech and fishery. Myself, Tuna Girl, and Abrizal, Fish Sufu, we have over 30 years running fishing operations, and Adrian, Tammy, and Dr. Joandi has over 30 years in biotech and biomedical. We believe we are the right team to bring these solutions to scale. We are looking for $500,000 for our angel round, and we have secured $250,000 with a sexy gross profit margin of averagely 50%. And the plan is to start generating revenue once we start production. So it's a cash flow positive business model. And in 5-year target plan, we want to generate about $11 million revenue. If we can impact 1 billion fish, that will create a cleaner ocean. And if we can scale the production of the marine ingredient, that will provide nutrition for millions of people. And our end game is really to scale the biotech infrastructure with our fish presso so we can bring back the talent home, the bioprocessing, bioengineering, bioscientists, and anyone that's passionate in ocean.
Thank you.
So please join us, Fish Avengers, in our journey for 100% utilization. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I'd like to invite the commentators for your questions.
I can ask a lot of questions, but yes, first of all, is your model going to be more asset-based sort of approach, as in, you know, I think I saw 60% allocated to CapEx, so I'm assuming that you're going to construct some sort of a biorefinery, sort of a, you know, test size, scaled, and effectively, you know, that's a plant business, isn't it? Or do you more like provide a solution and sell the plant itself to others?
Right now, our facility is done. I have secured about $300,000, $250,000 in investment, $50,000 in impact loan. And we built the biotech facility for extraction. And the plan is to use that facility to generate cash flow. For everything that we produce, for the marine ingredients, we can sell it as a revenue stream. But in medium terms, we want to M&A, work with the conglomerate families to bring it to scale globally. And for the manufacturing side of things, so we don't want to be heavy in CapEx. And we want to focus in the technology innovation and also looking into the research and scientific lens.
Just related to that, I guess in terms of the cash flow, so do you already have a sort of a stable partner, customer, kind of the thing that can act as a off-taker?
My angels are my off-takers. They're all from the conglomerate families of Indonesia. This is a pure Indonesia play. It's time we bring back the power. We are the ones that own the supply. Why can't we also innovate on it and grow our own pocket?
Thank you.
I think you can explain who's the off-taker is. Not the name of the company, but who is it? Is it a feed mills company, or is it the probiotic companies also, for example, or pharmaceutical company and so on? Would also like to see, you said that your first phase and then the second phase is more like a consumable product itself. So how much scale do you need to actually can bring your product ready to the market with a competitive pricing, because you are competing with big brand from overseas? how much scale do you need?
First one will be my off-taker. So I work with families that has FMCG brands, and one of my biggest angels are actually, they are the biggest family that do ingredients. They have over 2,000 brands within there. So they're already the biggest importer for fish oil. So for them it's an easy, like win. They don't do extraction, simply. And I am still looking for strategic partners in feed. One of it is Jala, as our distributor, my stream lady. And the idea is, how can we just work on making sure that what we develop can be useful and applicable can value add in Indonesia.
Thank you. Okay, and it's time. I'd like to invite the next venture, which is Breakout protein.
Hi, I'm Nuha, and this is my friend, DJ. Let me tell you a shocking fact about living in the biggest maritime country in the world, Indonesia. Did you know fishermen is the poorest profession in our country, and 90% of Indonesian fishers live below poverty line? It doesn't make sense, right? These hardworking people who bring us fish in our table in abundant fish resources is struggle to make a living. One of the biggest challenges is perishable nature of fish, and keeping it fresh is super expensive. Many fishermen lose their money because their catch often goes unsold and spoils before it reaches the market. And now, let's imagine a future where Indonesia's abundant fish resources are fully utilized, and fishermen no longer struggle to find market for their catch. But the solution isn't just a simple creating marketplace for fish, because there is also a big problem on the demand side. Many Indonesians don't eat enough fish because they don't like the fish because of the taste, the spine, and anything related to food preferences. This is the missed opportunity for everyone in Indonesia. This is the missed opportunity for everyone in Indonesia get enough protein from local resources. That's why malnutrition and stunting are still such a big problem in Indonesia, even we have a lot of fish everywhere and anywhere. So that's where Breakout protein comes in. In Breakout protein initiative, we create a simple but powerful technology that turn low-value fish into high-protein amino acid powder that it can be used in all kinds of food with fortification to improve community nutrition. And fun fact, we have one product that we launched in 2023, and it went viral in the last year. We got a lot of spotlight from national and international media because of this initiative. By the way, if you want to try our fish milk, you can visit to our booth because we have free tester for you. In Breakout Protein Initiative, we're not only creating innovative product, but we're also creating ecosystem to drive circular economy to help coastal community to thrive. In just 3 months, thanks to UNDP, we set up a pilot model in Indramayu, West Java, and we're proving that transforming underutilized fish is not only possible, but it's game changer. Look how big the impact that we create in only 3 months. And now, we invite impact investors and philanthropic to scale this initiative. With the right support, we want to expand the impact, and we want to impact more life to the 100,000 households in the next year. So, ladies and gentlemen, I do really believe that Indonesia has a huge potential to make protein more affordable, more for everyone, for better generation. And it starts with Breakout protein today. Thank you.
Thank you. Commentators, I invite you to ask your questions.
Where are we able to try that fish milk?
Fish milk.
I've never heard of it, so I guess I'd be interested to try.
Because based on the data, 90% of ASEAN, especially Indonesia, is lactose intolerant, and they need alternative for dairy milk. So we create an alternative that they can consume that.
Yeah. And my question is much simpler than that. Where are we able to buy them? Is that available on the supermarket?
Yes, you can find it in marketplace, like Tokopedia or Shopee, with brand Foraya, double R, W. Yeah.
Thank you.
And it's already on marketplace in Shopee and Tokopedia.
Can you share a little bit about the process of making the fish milk? And how is that compared to, I guess, in terms of the cost? How is that compared to let's say, a cow milk? That's first question. Second question is about your theory of change, because I think, in terms of like loss of the fish, sometimes it's in the transportation, right? Lack of cold storage, the fish got rotten, got bad. How are you helping that kind of the loss of fish, from your solution?
So for the cost, if we depends on to the cow milk, maybe it is 2 times pricey than the cow milk, but it is not apple to apple. If we compare cow milk to the fish milk, because fish milk it's like the one of the products from peptamen, if you know. Yeah, the peptamen it's more pricey 5 times than our products. So yeah, it is more. It's still affordable for us. And then for the second question. Yeah, our basic products, it is in Indramayu, West Java. So it is near from the fisherman's family that maybe we bought from them the fish, and then we process into the fish protein hydrolyzed.
So you're raising funding in terms of grant. Are you non-profit or are you for profit? Why don't you? Why don't you raise for like an equity or loan?
We are non-profit. We are non-profit organization, but we also have a
sister company
that we produce and we market it in marketplace. So what we ask here is about the non-profit organization.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Berikan. Okay. Next, I'd like to invite Puffer on stage.
Hi, everyone. I want to ask the question for your audience. Can you imagine we are planting a tree today and we need many years until decades to grow the tree and absorb the carbon emission? It's too long, right? Right now, we need as soon as possible to absorb the CO2 emission. And what if we can turn this system into just a few days only to absorb carbon, but also can treat the air at the same time? Well, my name is Septian from Puffer. We built a water treat bioreactor is a turbocharged system that can treat not only the wastewater but also absorb CO2 and treat the air as well. Okay, the problem is the world loves shrimp, but I think the seawater not so much. And you know, the seawater and the shrimp farming is a complementary business. At the same time, the seawater and the farm collaborating, but it still pollute the ocean at the same time. So, what if we can hit this solution, the problem, with one solution with our bioreactor? Yes, this is our bioreactor from microalgae. We cultivate the microalgae on our bioreactor like a water tree, like a Christmas tree. With this system, we can grow the microalgae that contain a high protein biomass. Unlikely the natural one, our water tree bioreactor can produce and capture CO2 emission faster than the natural one. And there is no winter time and always off. And always on 24 hours. Excuse me. Yep. Our revenue models come from renting the system. So the customer just buy the water that we treat and we just put our system on their side. And another one, we can sell the system if they have enough budget. Our targeting market is aquaculture, industry, hospital, and commercial building as well. Our project collaboration starting from the ministry, private sector, and global partnership. And 2 years ago, we collaborate with PNG to recycling the wastewater to utilize to clean water for the utility purpose like cooling tower, boiler, and chiller. We invite you to join with us to fight emission with water tree bioreactor. Thank you.
Thank you. Commentators, you may ask your questions.
Can you share a little bit about the process of treating the water?
Yep.
I think you're using the photosynthesis process of microalgae to treat the wastewater, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before the wastewater of the aquaculture industry entered to our system, we have a pre-treatment. We have a pre-treatment using a physical treatment and using a membrane to filter the solid waste. And after that, we inject the CO2 to the system and circulate the wastewater to the bioreactor, like the water tree bioreactor. And after that, we control the condition, like the pH, like the temperature, and the radiation of the light. And so the microalgae can grow with the best condition, better than the natural one. Yep.
Are you, I guess, you need the sunlight for...
we use artificial
lights.
Yeah, but we put on the open space. So in the day, we use sunlight as a light resource, but in the night, we use artificial lamp.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess compare the cost. I mean, this is an interesting solution, but I think treating water, there are so many other options.
Mm-hmm.
Why the clients are choosing yours over other solutions?
Yep. We are doing this business by renting our system. Actually, the microalga is the first initiative to Blue Innovative project, but many project with wastewater treatment we doing for recycling the company like PNG, so they can save the cost of the clean water and the cost of discharge the wastewater to the river or the ocean. So the company get the value from the saving the operational cost to getting clean water by recycling the wastewater.
Just curious, the algae inside the pipe
Yep.
Can later on be harvested or not?
Yes. Of course, we can harvest it and produce the high protein mass. We built the system in one skid of the installation, but in another case, we can just use our device just to clean the wastewater. So algae is a derivative or another side product, but we are not focused in producing algae. We producing the device and rental the wastewater treatment for the industry and aquaculture sector.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Now I'd like to invite the aquaculture group.
Yeah, so good afternoon, everyone. Sorry, someone changed the font color this morning. But my name is Vijay Anato, and in behalf of the Aquaculture Group, Climate Foundation, and Seaforestation.co, I'm pleased to share how we are harnessing seaweed innovation to boost food security and sustainable livelihoods. Across the region, whether it's seaweed growers or crop farmers, smallholder communities are facing challenges. On one end, environmental impact has raised the temperature of the surface, making it harder to grow seaweed, and devastating typhoons are more frequent. From an industry practice perspective, it is very much accepted on how chemical fertilizers are a key culprit to carbon, as well as runoffs damaging our marine ecosystems. This snowballing predicament has really impacted the Philippines, where majority of smallholder farmers still have trouble accessing infrastructure and modern technologies. In fact, with the current seaweed prices, they're hardly breaking even. Last year alone, the Philippines had to import more than 4 million tons of rice because of the more than $1 million impact due to typhoons and droughts. Now imagine a situation where agriculture and seaweed industry is thriving and resilient, where instead of being an importer of rice, the Philippines is an exporter. With the different seaweed innovations we're doing, such a future is possible. From innovations in growing, local post-harvest processing, and developing new byproducts that will be sustainable alternatives to the feed, fertilizer, and food market, we are revitalizing the industry. Our first byproduct is seaweed-based biostimulant, which is catalyzing circularity between land and sea. On one end, seaweed growers have an increased value of their crop due to this new byproduct, while Bigro biostimulant has proven to increase crop yields by 30% and the long-term opportunity to reduce fertilizer usage by 20%. Our second innovation is a seaweed array. Due to the high surface temperature, traditional farming is less viable. So what we do is we seed the seaweeds in these arrays, we lower it overnight in a nutrient-rich zone, And every morning, it gets raised for 12 hours of photosynthesis. This allows seaweed to grow all year round with the opportunity to threefold production. With our various achievements in the seaweed arrays and with Bigro Biostimulant, thanks to the Asia Blue Innovation Challenge, we have doubled the production capacity and established a foothold in southern Philippines and Mindanao. Supply is secured and partnerships are activated. And yet, this is not what we're most excited with. We're most excited with the carbon impact that this solution brings. Between carbon removals and emission avoidance, we are seeing up to 300 tons of carbon fixation for each hectare. Now imagine this throughout the millions of hectares across Southeast Asia's exclusive economic zone. If you're equally excited, come and join us as we scale this value chain together.
Thank you so much. And yeah, so sorry for the technical difficulties that they had to face, right, with all their fonts. You probably saw that for most of the teams. Some text that should be white appeared black. And really apologize for that. It seems someone changed the colors for all slides, and there were some versioning issues. So
we actually fixed it this morning. So
yes, and on our side as well yesterday many times. Anyway, so that's another reason to go and check their pitch deck and have a meeting with them. Right.
It's actually right now online.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I invite the commentators for your questions.
Yeah. Well, nevertheless, I think that was a very good presentation. It's a good place to discuss seaweed. I think we heard a lot of interest about seaweed. I think for the company, I just want to understand, are you doing the cultivation of seaweed as well as the products?
So the cultivation is happening with the local communities. So the seaweed growers are still the coastal community, smallholder farmers throughout the Philippines. Our pilot site, thanks to ABIC, is in Zamboanga in southern Philippines, in Mindanao.
So I guess for a company positioning,
yes.
What do you think your company is?
So the combination of this project is twofold. We have an international nonprofit, which is Climate Foundation, and opportunities in that investment are more from a country perspective as we license the technology for other country entries. The commercial operation, which is Aquaculture Group in the Philippines, is available for commercial investments and collaboration for the commercial operations in the Philippines.
Okay, so the seaweed array, right? That's the...
Yeah, the seaweed array is a technology
yeah.
that's available for commercial production. We're looking at shareholder franchise financing with different models, government agencies. It really depends on the regulation from a country perspective.
Right, but I see there's a partnership with the Seaforestation.
So,
then the system, seems like they are also working on a very similar system, bring the, the seaweed up and down. What's the relationship?
Okay.
Yeah.
So Climate Foundation is an international nonprofit. Seaforestation.co is the commercial arm of Climate Foundation. So it's a same shareholdings.
And you're licensing their technology for your...
So we are joint ventured for the Philippines.
The joint venture, yes. I see.
So for this project in ABIC, it's a joint submission between these two organizations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
The seaweed arrays model, what is your business model with the local seaweed farmers? You renting the devices or?
No, so the traditional seaweed growing in the Philippines is still pretty much smallholder farmers where they tie the seaweed a few meters on the surface. So the seaweed array is a totally new intervention of a submersible platform.
Yes, understand.
Marine deployment. Yeah.
You're going to adapt that to Philippine seaweed farmers, right?
Yeah, so down the line, we're still in the process of completing the scale to 1 hectare. So we already have a quarter hectare platform in Cebu, in central Philippines.
But the business model, is it going to be a subscription or is just going to be like a non-profit?
Yeah, so there's no established subscription for operationalization. is really open to each counterparty. If a big company further down the seaweed line wants to make an investment in a commercial operation, then we're open to such negotiations.
Okay, thank you so much. Next, I'd like to invite Unifas.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kitiya, CEO and co-founder of Unifas. I'm here to introduce the Lice V, a natural bacteria killer to control vibriosis or vibrio infection in shrimp farming to clean up our food supply chain. So, if we talk to the shrimp farmers, most of them have encountered vibriosis, and this can cause 100% mortality. And you can see that the common treatment currently that all the farmers are using is antibiotics, which if you have overused the antibiotics, that can cause the superbugs, and the overuse of antibiotic can have the residual contamination in the finished shrimps, and especially if you are the shrimp exporters, the final destination can reject the whole the whole products back to the country. So, Unifas, we provide a natural bacteria killer. This is from the phage technology. The solution is very fast and rapid because we use nature, living organism to kill the Vibrio infection in the shrimp. So you can see that this is very specific to target all the Vibrio infections in the shrimp. So we can use this as a feed supplement, and by being very specific, this can also promote the good ecosystem of the microbiome in the shrimp farming or the aquaculture system. So with this technology, by having the leading in the phage technology, we own the largest phage collection in Southeast Asia, as I have working on this field for more than 15 years, and we can customize the formulation to be very specific to all the Vibrios that you can encounter in each region to control vibriosis. And this is very effective and natural solution. As I mentioned, we use nature to solve this vibriosis infection. And thanks to the grant from UNDP, we can actually have tested our product in the field test in the shrimp farms in eastern Thailand. We tested with more than 5 large farms in the region, and by using the recommended dosage, after 7 days, you can see that the Vibrio contamination or the Vibrio infection in the shrimp have decreased by 80%. And with having lower infection rate, that means lower mortality rates. So the farmers can have this cost saving up to 20%. So as I mentioned, the product is very easy to apply, easy to use, safe for the farmers, safe for the environment. And we have worked this with across these large farms, and they are very happy to have this better yield and also cost saving by 20%. As compared to antibiotics treatment and other chemicals that can, have shown all the resistance issue, our product have very low resistance issue while have high effectiveness against vibriosis. And looking at the shrimp industry, that will go up to over 105 billion. But what we want to see is the reduction of use of antibiotics, but replace antibiotics with our products in the next few years. So looking at all of these countries, they are the world leaders or leading shrimp producers. Now, our business model is to sell directly to corporate users, those who have contract farms, and those farms, they are the grow-out farms, and there are large farms that we can protect over 45,000 farms in the region, and also we are looking for key distribution partners to sell our products in international channels through hatchery, nursery, and in the small grow-out.
We'll have to stop here, and I invite commentators for your questions.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. I just didn't know that.
So the product itself, in comparisons, so you compare with yourself with antibiotics, probiotic, and so on, which in shrimp industry we don't use any antibiotic anymore. Like that's like a red flag. So we typically don't use at all. So what is the real comparisons of your product with? Is it with oral vaccine, or is it with peptide, or is it with probiotic or prebiotic?
Yeah, if you express the solution that actually, yeah, there are farmers who have like options what they are using, but yeah, you're right that there are other options that can control Vibrio cyst. There are prebiotics and other peptides. Those are also for Vibrio cyst control, but then our product is very specific to just Vibrio. Other products might be like, the effectiveness might not be as comparable to our product for Vibrio control.
And your product is mixed with feed, or is it just spread out? Mixed with water or mixed with feed?
So this one is as a feed supplement. Okay. So we mix with the feed. So it's at 5% for the feed. Mm-hmm.
I guess just the go-to-market strategy. Do you need a regulatory approval to sell the products? How is that process look like for you?
Yes, we have registered our products in 7 countries in Southeast Asia already, and also in South Asia, in India and other countries. So now we are ready to go.
When you say registered, can you elaborate a little bit?
Yes,
That
as a feed
already?
supplement. Yeah, so as a feed supplement, we need to register this product. Yes.
What is your sort of production base? As in, do you have any facility already?
Yes, we have in-house production facility that we can scale up to 20,000 liters per month, and that can cover about 20% of the shrimp of the shrimp farms in the region. Yeah. So we are still raising funds for it. That's why I didn't go for this slide yet. You can come to my booth later if you are investors. Yes.
Now, next, I'd like to invite Udayana University. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Pandey. I'm from Udayana University, located in Bali Island. Today, I would like to introduce our product that is selected Bacillus strains bacteria to mitigate bacterial disease in aquaculture. We know that shrimp aquaculture now faces many challenges, such as bacterial diseases, water quality deterioration, and also the dependency of using antibiotic in some shrimp farming. So we need a solution, even though we know that no single solution for all those kind of problem in shrimp aquaculture. Our product could be part of the solution. The selected bacillus that have capability to produce antibacterial, antimicrobial compound, promote shrimp immunity, and also increase the water quality. This is the result from our last pilot project funded by UNDP, and we have a good result, isn't it? We have a good result, if you see from this slide. So from the market size, the locus project of this product will be, in the first 3 years, will be in Bali and Nusa Tenggara province. And then we already estimated that the Bali share has $3 million USD of the probiotic product, and the serviceable, obtainable market will be around 450,000 US dollar. Now we are in the second phase of stage 2 of our developing product. So we have pilot testing and the farm validation. and we will be ready to commercialize this product after this step. So there are a bunch of competitors for this kind of product, but our product has a unique preposition, locally produced, so affordable, higher viability, and also we can customize the probiotic depend on the local shrimp farming that we needed. So this is scientifically proven already. Our business revenue, our business model, we plan to have several business models, but for the first 3 years, we will focus on the direct product sales and also B2B partnership. So this is our financial forecast for the 3 years. Because of the using probiotic have a good opportunity in the shrimp farming, we will optimize with this financial forecast. So for the initial investment, we asking, or we estimated we need around 222,000 investment with ROI, return on investment, around 1.9% for 3 years. So our product already recognized by several reputable institutions because during developing of this product, we also funded first by European Union toward Aqua-Excel project, Indonesian Torres Science Foundation, and also Fulbright project before this. This is our team. All of us is the academia. So for developing this product, we need really need the capital to go to the market. So join us because our product sustainable, our product scientifically proven, then it will be increase your farm efficiency. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Commentators, you may ask your questions.
Mas Pande, can you explain your competitive analysis and your current competitor probably, and what makes your product stand out compared to other competitor?
Yeah, because deeply or scientifically, we really sure that our product has something that we couldn't find in other product, such as our product has a bacteria that have capability to degrade the quorum sensing signal molecule, so scientifically proven already. And then we also have the strain that can degrade the PRB toxin of HPND. So that's one will be the how to say, the unique hour. So the competitor, we pretty sure with our product based on our last result already.
And is it already at the commercial stage or still at the pilot
still
stage?
In the pilot project at the ASEAN, so yeah.
How many cycles have you tried your product in the pilot cycle?
With this, how to say, pilot project, it's already 5 cycles already.
Okay. The accuracy to really kill the HPND disease, how many percentage?
In average, we can if the farm attacking by the disease, we can still survive at the 90% with our Bacillus product, and then without using our product, it was 60 to 65% survival rate.
Yeah. Thank you.
I guess going forward, right now you're still working for the university, right?
Yes.
And what's your plan going forward? Also want to ask about IP. It's gonna be, belong to the university or belong to a company? Who owns the IP, and what's gonna be the arrangement between, the company and the university?
Yeah. First, I would like to answer about the IP. Since we have already the agreement with the UNDP for this kind of, so the product that we provide for this product will be according the agreement. So we already have the agreement. So then about the next plan, now there is a regulation to have kind of spin-off company that can be arise from the university. Then yeah, I hope based on the scientifically data, we can go more faster compared to, how to say, conventional one. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Now I'd like to invite Agraba Ventures.
Good afternoon. I'm Jun of Agraba. The Philippines is one of the most climate vulnerable countries in the world. We are hit of storms regularly. And the Philippines is trying to combat climate change by committing to reducing 75% of its greenhouse gas emission by 2030. However, it's very hard to achieve because the current carbon market doesn't work for the Philippines. Almost 90% of the businesses in the Philippines are MSMEs or micro, small, and medium enterprises. So it's going to be expensive for them to have an accreditation. It's also exclusion of small-scale initiatives like agroforestry and seaweed farming are not included in the current carbon markets. And even if farmers are producing carbon credits, there's lack of market access for MSMEs. So we're trying to democratize the carbon market. At Agraba, we are building a carbon market tailored to the Philippine economy, one that is inclusive, affordable, and scalable for MSMEs and smallholder farmers. And how do we do it? We do it through seaweed farming. We have over 5,000 farmers. Wait, sorry. Yeah. Oh, okay, my slide was changed, was affected. So we have over 5,000 farmers, and we are trying to help these farmers have an additional market for their, or a secondary market for their seaweed. Aside from selling it, at least they're earning credit from it. So we're building a low-cost carbon accreditation and a digital carbon marketplace. So here's how our carbon credit looks like, or the ecosystem at least. We've already did a zero carbon policy brief with our stakeholders, and we signed a memorandum of agreement with the Metro Naga Chamber of Commerce and Industry so that MSMEs would actually buy from the marketplace. But this will not work if no one would actually force the MSME to buy carbon credit. So we created the Metro Naga Zero Carbon Policy. This will be enacted as a local ordinance within the Metro Naga, composed of 11 municipalities. And the MOA signing is witnessed by the mayor of Naga City himself. So here's our farmer. We actually created more than 3,455 jobs, and we've increased their monthly production of 20 metric tons to 200 metric tons in the Bicol region alone. And for the past 2 years, we've managed to check the carbon sequestration of the community, and they've managed to sequester 61,000 metric tons of carbon. Now, our business model is very straightforward. We take commission in each of our revenue streams. We have revenue stream in contract pricing, the logistics, referral fee, and carbon trading. We're actually seeking 500,000 investment. We're open to collaboration, joint venture, or even revenue sharing. This is our team. We have over 10 years experience in each of our roles here. I myself have over 10 years experience in the agriculture value chain. So I'm challenging you guys to join us because we build communities, and we know that the grass is always greener where you water it. Thank you.
Thank you. Commentators, you may ask your questions.
Oh, thanks for the presentation. Yeah, we have the Vera person here, so a good person you can speak to. I think just in terms of seaweed carbon credit, what is the methodology of measuring the carbon Can you share a little bit more about that?
Yeah, actually, there's a lot of study right now. It's just recent. For the past 3 years, there's a lot of study from different universities within Asia, specifically to Capapicus, which is the seaweeds that we're growing. They have a computation where basically the computation is in every raw-dried seaweed, the carbon sequestration is 2.2 kilograms. So that's actually the computation we're using.
I think just related to that question, so if you consume the seaweed later, would that still count as a carbon credit, or only when the seaweeds fall, to the bottom of the ocean, that would count it as carbon credit?
The computation is raw dried, so it means it's harvested already.
Yeah.
So since we are the one buying from the community, every transaction that comes in actually are tracked. So we can see the end point of it, which is the next level, which is processed into Karajinan. So the carbon credit stays when it or issued at the farm level.
I guess just very quick follow-up question: who is setting the standard? Because if we talk about the forest carbons, Vera gold standard, can you share more about that?
Yeah, actually, if you look at our model, so it's an ecosystem. So the standards actually we're looking at Vera and gold standard. So we're actually following their standards. It's just that we're localizing it because we really cannot, or the smallholder farmers cannot afford the accreditation from the big players. So we're trying to create a local ones. And it is actually community-based. So we have the Metro Naga Chamber of Commerce as auditors. We have a quasi-judicial body from the city who's going to manage the entire ecosystem. So there's check and balance as well. Our role as Agraba, we're the only one doing the carbon trading, and we issue the farmers with the certificates.
Thanks for this presentation again. Would you be able to elaborate a little bit more on the the regulatory requirement that sort of encouraged industry to actually buy the credit?
Oh yeah. So basically, the Metro Naga zero carbon policy, which we are pushing right now, we would set carbon baselines for MSMEs. So each of them would only have a certain limit for their carbon emission. If they go beyond, they would be taxed higher, or they have an option to offset by purchasing carbon credits from the farmers.
So that's the one that you said that will be enacted?
Yes. That's the one we actually produced outside because of ABIC. We've managed to craft that. Now we're pushing it to the legislators.
Okay, thank you so much. And now I'd like to invite the next venture, which is OBX Solutions.
Hey. Hello, good afternoon. I am Arnel Ariglado, the co-founder of OBX Solution, at the same time the CEO. So I'm here to present our solution. Yes, okay. I'm here to present our solution to the following problem. The IUU, or the illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing, which is not only an enforcement issue, but also it's a sustainability issue which affects the biodiversity and livelihood of the coastal communities. And second, we would like to present a solution to the lack of real-time reporting and monitoring system for enforcement, which causes delays in weak and ineffective coastal law enforcers. And lastly is the weak community engagement and fishery law enforcement, which is very vital, and conservations, the participation of the community. We would like to propose the solution, the project scales, which integrates technology and community-driven initiatives to combat illegal fishing through the following. First, we would like to propose the Patrol app. The Patrol app is an offline mobile application that sends the report through SMS. No internet connections is required to function its features. It has the GeoSMS, the geo camera, the personal emergency button, auto reporting button. We intended the to put the personal emergency button, no, for them to install this application in use for reporting any illegal activities when they go fishing, if they observe illegal activities in the sea, at the sea. Then we'll also have the BTS, the boat tracking system. This is a solar-powered boat tracking system with emergency button, personal dashboard, and live boat tracking. Again, as part of the incentives of the fisher folks that will install or allow to install the boat tracking system, we personally, we intend to put the emergency button because there's some reports that there are fatalities or some emergencies during fishing activities. So they have the options to, if they want to seek a rescue or help, so they have the emergency button. Then we also have the centralized command center. Usually, you heard about command center, it's designed for emergency operations. But here we propose to make a fishery law command centers, wherein all reports coming from the community in relation to coastal law enforcement, the reports coming from the Ka Patrol app will go directly here in the command center, wherein the reports will automatically point in the map, even without internet connections. And it has a live boat tracker, dispatch system, early warning notification system, and data analytics. So through this command center, we can view or track the fishing activities of the fisher folk. And at the same time, it will provide a data analytics that will be used by our legislators to plan and to check where is the fishing pressures in the sea, so that they can use that in the planning process. This is the market size. We have 1,500 coastal communities across the Philippines. Then we have 117 cities. And we can say that mobile application is a feasible one because of the projected 90 million users this year. So we'd like to invest in smarter coastal law enforcement.
Okay, all right, thank you so much. I'd like to invite the commentators for your questions.
Thanks for the presentation. I think the challenge of stopping IUU is that the fishermen sometimes would try to not use the system. Like, for example, we have heard like the fishermen, they would turn off the GPS of the boat, so you won't be able to track them if we want to do illegal fishing. So I guess for your solution, how can you incentivize the fishermen to use your system while, if they want to do illegal fishing?
Yeah, first, we developed the boat tracking system. So there's no option for them to turn off the device. Then second, to incentivize them, there's the emergency panic button within the boat tracking system for them to able to seek help if they want if they need some help during their fishing activities.
But why do they want to install your equipment in the first place? If they have intention to fish illegally, why do they want to install your system to stop themselves?
That's a good point. The company will not directly engage with the fishermen, but will going to engage the local government unit, which is they are the main client of this innovation. So part of the policy of the government is the boat registration. So before they will get registered, they should install, or maybe we cannot force them to install the boat tracking system, but again, the government can give him or her an incentives for, let's say, for insurance when they accident face accident at the sea, so they can get insurance, or they will be insured. No? Then another thing is that's it. No? The government will give them incentives for allowing to install the boat tracking system.
So your business is B2G then?
Yes, ma'am. Correct.
And have you create a contract with your own government to do this?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, we have 7 local government units subscribed in our system, but not with this innovation, but with the same installation of command center and the mobile application.
Did you make money out of the B2G
Yes, ma'am.
business? Okay.
Our-
Already profitable or not?
Yes. Our target is the local disaster risk reduction management office of the government, because the local disaster risk reduction management office has an allocation of 5% annually of their internal rate avenue. So we have a shore market and we have a shore revenue for this project.
All right. Thank you so much. And we have only 2 ventures left. The next one is Eco Thailand. Good luck.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tanya, and I'm going to present the Aerial Recon and Recovery Initiative, a program by Eco Thailand. First of all, I would like to ask if you can raise your hand if you know what ghost gear are. Okay, couple of people, but mostly no. So let me explain to you what ghost gear are. Sorry. Ghost gear are abandoned, lost, or discarded fishing gear. And they are a huge problem for the marine environment. They are a very dangerous form of marine pollution because they can entangle marine life, entangle coral reef, and other important habitats. And because of this, they create a huge loss for the fishing industry as well as for the tourism sector. In Thailand alone, it is estimated that 32,000 tons enter the water every year. But this might be a gross underestimate because we don't really know where ghost gear are. In fact, it's very difficult to detect them. And traditional method that goes out with a boat, they have to scan through a large area, and this can become very slow, inefficient, and costly. And after you recover the gear, what happened to them? They might end up in the landfill, creating yet another environmental issue. At ARI, we have a solution for this. We are using drones to survey rapidly a large coastal area, taking thousands and thousands of images. And then we use our newly developed AI system to scan through these images that then extract the exact coordinates of the fishing gear. With this information, alone or with partnering organization, we can then retrieve the gear, bring it back to our storage facility, and then send them for recycling or upcycling, depending on the gear state. Since starting in 2023, we have already collected more than 6 tons of ghost gear, and we have gained the support from important organizations like UNDP today, as well as Global Ghost Gear Initiative. Our main next steps would be to make our solution available to our partners, as well as to scale up our operation in different locations in Thailand and outside Thailand. We are a group of ecologists that are very passionate about ocean conservation, and we want to bring together our knowledge with technology to solve the issue of ghost gear. What makes our solution different is that we tackle ghost gear in coastal area from A to Z, from the detection to the removal to the recycling. We're seeking for fundings for $200,000 as well as strategic partnership to scale our operation and to support our innovation. By partnering with us, you can gain access to environmental impact metrics that are very important for you to showcase to your stakeholders. And we believe that together we can tackle the issue of ghost gear. Thank you very much for your attention.
Hi, who is your primary customer for this technology? I mean, for this solution?
Hi. Yeah, so we're focusing on the corporate sector for corporate social responsibility opportunities initially. We're trying to showcase the impact through removing the fishing nets. We can show the amount of area on the sea floor that we clear and move in the direction of using that as an impact opportunity. And also the fishing gear material itself.
Yeah, and the amount of ghost gear by type, we have like nylon and other material. And also if we send this out for recycling, you can also know what is the impact for recycling.
I see. And I don't know, I'm not really familiar with this, but how is your technology compared with the satellite imagery?
So satellite images for now are very coarse, so they don't have a very high resolution. When you use satellite, you cannot pinpoint the ghost gear yet. But with drones, it's like remote sensing. It's very high definition, so it's easier to see ghost gear because some pieces might be very long, so maybe even satellite would be useful. But for most of the gear, you need something with higher resolution.
What about the wind and everything? I was assuming that drone is quite difficult to fly in the ocean. Is it not?
Yeah, it depends on the time of year. So monsoon, the wind isn't as much of an issue as rain. The rain can be sort of limit the work, but actually the drones we have are quite resilient to the wind movement itself. And because when you're flying directly above, you look straight down to the water, even if the water's scattered because of the wind, we can still see through as well. So the wind is an issue. It won't fly in a typhoon, but rain is more of an issue. And so we're strategic in when we do the surveys.
I guess just a question on the application of the drone technology. Do you need to require like a certain level of water visibility for you to see what's going on under the water? I guess where the ghost gears typically are located, is it always on the surface of water, or sometimes they would sink to the bottom of water, then it's hard to see with the drone?
Thank you for your question. So this is the issue with ghost gear. They can be at the surface and underwater. So in the open ocean, we might need another solution because the ghost gear might go too deep for us to see with the drone. But in coastal area where you have like clear visibility, you can see up to 20 meters if the conditions are good. And we are actually about to test in other locations where there are murky waters. So we will know better in a couple of months if this works for this location as well. But at the surface, we are able to see them.
Quick question around the drone as well. There's a lot of drone surveyor out there. They're mostly focused on that side of the service only, obviously not collecting all the gears and all that. So would you be able to explain why sort of integrated services, both using drone analysis and also, collect the gear from the ocean? Why do you think that's better than, maybe, community or government use two services? Because drone survey is pretty established these days. So just wanted to seek your views on that.
Please answer very quickly. Sure. I would say they're not separate solutions at all. We want to work with the community and the government directly. When you do traditional methods where you go by boat or by scuba diving, as I do normally at the community-based surveys, it's much more expensive, much more time-consuming. But if we use aerial surveys in combination with community methods that already exist, actually we make it much more efficient. And that's part of what we're already doing in Kopanjan at the moment. Good question. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And the very final team for today is Myanmar Ocean Project.
Hello, good afternoon. I am a little bit nervous, but it's the last one. My name is Tanda. I founded Myanmar Ocean Project. Oh, it's not moving. Sorry. Yeah, I founded Myanmar Ocean Project. I am a diver. I came back to Myanmar thinking I am going to explore the untouched paradise, the last, hidden world. But instead, when I started diving, what I found was a lot of rubbish. So basically, it was really bad. I led the first ever expedition to do a survey in the south coast of Myanmar. We surveyed about 87 sites, all close to 90 sites. Almost all of them had some form of ghost gear, so it was really bad. It was a matter of how bad all of these sites were. So we needed to understand more, so we started to interview fishermen just to understand why they're losing that much gear, why we have that much in the ocean. So what we learned was pretty scary statistics, like Myanmar doesn't have any protection in the ocean. We only have one marine park that's not really monitored. We don't have a coast guard still. So basically, there's no tourism incentive as well. So everything that's been in the water is in the water. So we spoke to the fishermen. Traditionally, people will be like, here's the rubbish bin, bring it back. But that doesn't work because the fishermen are out at sea 3 to 4 months at a time. Each fishing boat has 10, 20 fishermen sleeping on top of each other on top of fish. They cannot hold on to their rubbish for 3, 4 months to bring back to shore. So what we've done is locate sort of strategic, like bus stops in the ocean where fishing boat gathers. We've set up pontoons. Fishermen can just drop off their rubbish, take shelter, rest. We've taken the burden off of the communities, the fishermen. We work directly with fishermen before anything ends up in the ocean. It's community driven, which is especially important now in Myanmar because we don't really have outside support in terms of skills and expertise. And with the support of CSRs and this UNDP fund, we have set up 2 mop drop pontoons this last 6 months in hotspots that we previously identified as an area that is really busy with fishermen. And we've worked with quite a few different NGOs and we've learned a lot of things, retrieve gear different ways in different locations. But I think the most important lesson we learned was the lived experiences of the fishermen themselves. They know what's wrong, they want a solution, they just want support. And so far with Mop Drop, we've had 200 fishing boats use it. We haven't collected a whole lot, I think because our engagement is still sort of timid. But in terms of how much we've spent compared to the dive expeditions to what we're doing with collecting end-of-life fishing gear now, it is a lot more cheaper, it is a lot more sustainable in terms of just leaving it up to the communities to lead themselves. And yeah, we have a solution that works and we would like continued support to expand on our work to really incentivize the communities. Most of the spending we get goes directly to the island communities in terms of incentivizing them and really reaching out and amplifying our work. So thank you very much.
Thank you. The last speech is finished. We have the last questions of our commentators.
It's very interesting. The business model, I was just trying to show your solutions basically, I think it solved the problem with the not bringing rubbish back to the land, but the business model I was trying to capture.
Sorry, we're an NGO, so it's not a business.
Right.
It's a, yeah. And I think the problem was like, you can't expect the fishermen to hang on to their waste for 3 months to bring back to shore. I think that's the main issue we're dealing with.
Right, and how much it costs to build the sanctuary?
The pontoon?
Yes, the point.
The actual pontoon itself, I think probably like maybe 5,000-10,000, or like depending on the location and how far we have to transport the materials because it's pretty remote. And I think in Myanmar at the moment we have to be creative with how we're transporting everything from the mainland.
So around $5,000 US.
Yeah.
And you said that in 1 year it collects 1.8.
We've only set it up like less than the second one. It hasn't even been a month yet. But we trialed another one that's been going for about 6 months that collected over a ton.
So roughly per month, you have collected 200 kilogram?
For that particular location, yes.
Per pinpoint?
No, I think it will be very different because we have 2 locations. One of them has more artisanal manual fishing boat, so the waste they leave is normally less than 10 kilos each time. The second location, we have mechanical boats, so they produce more waste. So like this one hasn't been running for a month, but we're seeing on average 30 kilos per boat that's leaving the waste. Yeah. So I mean, I think previously like they leave up to like 50, 60 kilos as well. So I think because we are only just started, like most of our work is through word of mouth. We haven't really done active engagement to reach out to, I don't know, stakeholders.
Can you share a little bit about the comparison of the scuba expedition versus the community-based solution? Like, do fishermen, they have to jump into the water to collect the ghost gear?
So we're seeing 2 types of waste being disposed of. So one from fishing boats that are producing the waste themselves. So we try to sort of just encourage them to do the right thing, so to speak. And then we also have another type of like fishing communities that are like just from the village. They see a pile of floating rubbish because they see them all the time. They're on every beach you go to in Southeast Asia. I don't think it's just a Myanmar problem. But they want to bring these things. And then for them, I think it's not the rubbish they are producing. It's just the rubbish they are seeing. And a lot of the time, like, we want them to do the right thing, but like if it's 100 kilo of nets, you do kind of need to incentivize them for the boat fuel and the hours they spend. For now, like we're just putting them with like cookies and coffee. And I think for the islands, it's still a lot, just to incentivize just little comfort stuff, yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. That was the last pitching for Stream 1. Congratulations. It's not easy to go last. Congratulations to you and congratulations to everyone for the fantastic work you've done today, but also like for all these months, right? Okay, the event is not finished. Please, everyone, move back to the plenary, right, on the top floor, and we will have the closing ceremony happen there. All right? You may go right now directly to the closing ceremony. Stream 3 is a little bit behind us, so we're going to have to wait for them a little bit, but you can already go have a cup of tea, coffee, a cake, and go back to the plenary. Thank you so much, everyone. All right. Welcome, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for the exciting and insightful pitch session on blue innovation from across ASEAN. We are thrilled to have such a diverse and talented group of individuals here. Whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur, investor, or simply passionate about innovation, we're delighted to have you. Before we begin, I'd like to cover a few housekeeping items to ensure that everything runs smoothly. Saying that, we have a black screen. All right, first, exiting the room. It's absolutely fine to exit the room after each pitch if you're interested in attending a different stream. While we have 3 streams, we are right now in the first, the second and third are on my left. Okay, so it's absolutely fine to exit the room after each pitch if you want to attend another stream. However, we kindly ask you to refrain from exiting during a pitch, right, to avoid disruptions. Okay, cell phones. Please ensure that all cell phones are set to silent mode to avoid distractions during the session. Okay, we appreciate your cooperation on this. And introduction of commentators. Okay, so I have the honor and pleasure today to introduce and thank our distinguished commentators joining us today. Right. From my left to right, we have Liris Maduning Tias, CEO of Jalatech. Then we have Kohei Tamura, Chief Strategy Officer and Executive Officer at Kita Sanriku Factory. And finally, we have Clive Yersey, Senior Investment Manager at Mana Impact. All right, just on time. Okay, now let me give you a brief overview of the session's flow. Each pitch will be 4 minutes long, with a hard stop at 4.5. Then we will have a 3-minute Q&A, where the commentators here present will ask you questions. And after that, you will have the chance to rate each pitch online on their impact, innovation, and potential. How to vote? You will have a QR code. Can we see it here? No. You will have a QR code displayed at the end of each venture that will send you to a link where you can rate the venture. And finally, at the end of the 20 pitches, we will all move back to the main area for the concluding statements on the plenary. All right, the button was a bit hard to press with so many things in my hands. Okay, well, once again, thank you for being here today. We're looking forward to seeing some incredible ideas and innovation. So let's get started and make this session a truly inspiring one. First, I would like to invite the first venture on stage, the University Technology Brunei.
Hello, testing. Okay, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, everyone. Okay. So, meet Mr. Zohairi. Okay, he's a prawn farmer in Brunei. He has been farming for over 10 years and he's using traditional aquaculture methods. Okay, so every day he goes to his farm, he monitors the growth of the prawn as well as the water quality. But he faces a frustrating challenge: low profit, low production, and high expenses. Okay, so for example, he starts off with 20,000 baby prawns in the pond, and then after one whole cycle of the production, he only gets 2,000 pieces. Okay, so all of this is because inefficient feeding as well as inconsistent water quality. But the problem does not stop there. In 2050, there will be 10 billion people in the world. That's 10 billion mouths to feed. Okay, and expert says aquaculture was supposed to be the solution. Okay, aquaculture was supposed to save us. But yet, farmers like Mr. Zohairi, they all faced a similar challenge, right? So the industry is struggling to meet the demand. That is why we have created the aquatic aqua feeder. So this feeder is solar powered. It has AI-based system that disperses the exact amount of feed that is needed for the prawns based on the size and the behavior. So that way, it reduces the feed waste as well as the water pollution. So what does this mean? The impacts: 10% reduction of the feed waste, 20% increase of the survival rate of the prawns, and more importantly, 50% reduction of the total farm operational costs. So what does this mean to Mr. Zohairi? In turn, he will get, on top of his existing profits, he will get 1,000 more prawns. Other than that, he will also get more revenue of 14K. Okay? So imagine if all of the aquaculture industry can have access to this technology. Okay? How many food can we supply? And how many livelihoods can we improve? Okay, so this is our revenue model. The revenue model is by B2B model, and we provide direct sales at 3,400 per unit. And for the projection, by 2028, we're aiming to have reached 70 farms, more than 70 farms, with potential revenue of $700,000 USD. So over the years, we have been winning competitions, acquiring project grant funding, and by this year, by end of this year, we are planning to deploy, fully penetrate the Brunei market with the aqua feeder, and by next year, hopefully, we are trying to aim for expansion into the Southeast ASEAN region. So to turn our vision into a reality, we are seeking a funding of $200,000, which goes to team expansion, the stock items, as well as admin expenses. But other than that, we're also looking for partners and collaborators. So I'm calling out all of the financial institution, OEM collaborations, equipment distributors, as well as aquaculture farmers to join us in transforming aquaculture industry. So this is us. I'm Najiba, and this is Dr. Lim. So we are researchers and innovators with background in AI technology as well as aquaculture practice. We're also working closely with the Brunei government as well as the local aquaculture farms. We believe that with this collaboration, we can create innovative as well as farmer-focused solution that could really make an impact. Okay, so all in all, the aqua feeder brings in a new era of AI and efficiency in the aquaculture industry. So let's work together towards a sustainable future. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I would like to invite our commentators for your questions.
Yeah, I might go first, if that's all right. No, I think that looks great. I like how simple the equipment looks. I guess clarification, I suppose. I think on this first or second slide says a $15,000 more income, and the cost of the equipment is 3.4. Does that mean there's just like from first year there's actually a positive cash flow impact? Is that the proposition? Did I correctly understand what you are putting up there? Yeah, so $14,000 more revenue.
Yeah.
Or maybe the farmer uses a multiple equipment. Just try to understand, that's all.
Yeah, so for this one, it actually comes from the more prawns they produce, and they will gain this amount of revenue after selling all of the prawns, the additional prawns, yeah.
Yep, thank you. So the next slide says equipment was, I think, $3,400. So I thought that was brilliant. Am I understanding correctly? I know the extra output obviously resulted in extra revenue, but the cost of the unit is 3,000 and the extra revenue is 12. Then
yeah,
sounds
this one
brilliant.
is for one unit, and they may deploy more than one unit in their ponds. Yeah, so that's the rough idea.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, what makes your product differentiations compared to other e-feeder?
Maybe Dr. Lim
auto
can...
feeder.
Yeah.
That's number one questions. And then number two, you said your cost is 3,400. The normal auto feeder on the ground costs around $400 to $500. So your cost is 6x to 7x more expensive than the one on the local.
Yeah.
What make you think what make it so special that your cost is 6x higher than the other auto feeder? The third question is how many percentage of improvement in FCR? I think, if your devices is higher cost, then I must expect that the improvement in FCR is beyond the other auto feeder. So how many improvement of FCR you're targeting?
I'm afraid we don't have a lot of time, so please answer very quickly.
Okay, so what makes us different from the traditional auto feeder is because we actually have this AI model, AI machines that can predict the weight and the length of the prawn, which means they know the size, the growth of the prawn, and then they can adjust the feed accordingly. So that actually has a significant reductions of feed. Second thing, to answer your questions, that model itself is actually coming as a separate box to the feeder. So if we can actually use existing feeder and put the box underneath and then have some minor adjustment, so it's actually the farmer just need to buy a motorized feeding tray plus a biomass model machines. And third question is, I think, did I answer that? The feed conversion ratio. Yeah, obviously the price is slightly more expensive than what you have in the market right now, like 600. But of course, the price can be further reduced. And in the first conversion ratios, we actually managed to reduce the feed by at least 20% of what they have been using monthly.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And now I'd like to invite the second venture. The second venture is the University Technical Malaysia. Right, and unfortunately, we didn't have time to show you, but this is to rate this pitch, right? So it is on this link. For every company is the same link. You can go on this to rate the previous venture.
Test. Hi, Assalamualaikum and good evening, everyone. Okay, I think this is our common issues in any country, especially ASEAN. This is what also happened in Malaysia last 5 years, which a catfish pond owner had been caught because his action has polluted our river. Another thing is that actually we have a choice. Before we release the water to the river, we need to clean it up. But because of the increase of the operational cost and energy, his or her choose to just flush it out to the river. Another problem is our conventional recirculating aquaculture system is that we use frequent water exchange, and we also use excessive water consumptions. So we are here from AquaZax, University Technical Malaysia Melaka, to present and pitch about our product titled Zero Water Exchange System. I repeat again, we are here to promote about our product on the system. Okay, this is our solution. By using this sponge, you can just filter any water and then it will be cleaned by microbes inside it. Okay? So our solution is that biological water treatment system. I repeat again, biological water treatment system. So with IoT monitoring system, we can manage the fish to survive at least 2005 days without water exchange. And then it's also reduced environmental pollution, for sure, sorry. And then of course it's less effort and save time. So this is the result with the UNDP grant. Thank you so much. We managed to studies on catfish and tilapia. The time in both tanks was successfully maintained within a survival limit despite limited water exchange. We also monitored the fish growth and also possible for compact size with increasing in removal performance when size is increased. So this is our result for water quality and this on fish growth. Our business model, actually this point is being developed by a Japanese sensei from Japanese universities. My friends over there already have her own startup. So I'm here to be the person that in charge on in-house production because my system cannot be functioned without her filter and her filter cannot be functioned without my system. So our business model is that our business model subscription 1,250 USD per year by 8 times maintaining. And then for direct sale, at least for aquarium size is 10,000 USD. So our targeted market is more to fish farmers, NPO, and also pet shop that have a lot of aquarium. As a potential market for biofilter, we have actually now around 2.5 billion USD in 2024, and we target that CAGR of 9.7% in 2030. And then for the RSS system, around 2030 is going to be growth on 12%. And then for the aquarium, on 2032, it's growth on 70% from now. So meet the team. We have advisor from Japan, Nagaoka University of Technology, and then our strength in this team is that we have a lot of different team members come from environmental expert, biological, and then I also have my friend on IoT, me as a process designer, and Dr. Usna from industrial design. So we asked for 500 USD, which we want to set up 200 USD for factory and machines, and then 250,000 USD, 5 years of operation, including 3 workers that we want to pay 2,000 USD each, and then another 50,000 USD for promoting and marketing. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. And I would like to open the floor for the questions by our commentators.
Yeah, thank you for the presentation. Can you explain a little bit more about your solution? Why it can clean the water? Is it microbe or what's in it?
It's a microbe, but it's a secret to spell out it here.
Okay. And so this is the filter. You're
Yeah.
also, for you, you're designing the machine
Yes.
to go with the filter.
Yeah.
But can this filter be used in other machines? Because the RAS machines, there are a lot of producers already.
For your information, actually the same system had been used in Japan, India, Thailand, but this is the first time in Malaysia. So it's already proven in market, but not in ASEAN yet.
Have you spoken with any of the clients?
Not yet, because my friends in Japan, she just got her startup last July, something like that. So we are trying to move on from there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The cost of subscriptions is 1,200
yes.
US dollar per pond or per?
That one is for minimum size of aquarium.
One aquarium.
One aquarium.
For tilapia and catfish, right?
For any type of fish, actually.
Okay. So why do you think that the farmers will generate more margin by paying your subscription? Because if I know correctly...
Because we're the only one person that know how to clean and maintain this one for 5 years without changing anything.
Yes, but the 1,200 US dollar, that is so if I calculate it correctly, the profit without your technology for tilapia farmers and for catfish farmers is probably only 2,000 to 3,000 US dollar per pond.
Yep.
If they have to pay for your solutions, it will reduce 30 to 40% of their margin. How do you sell it to the farmers then, knowing that this will reduce almost half of their profit?
Okay, the big lesson that my friend learned in Japan is that when we sell, that one is a direct sale, because our filter can sustain until 5 years. So once we sell that one, and the customer will not come back to us. That's why we try to go for subscription. With that amount, we hope that we can circulate again, so that within the 5 years, the customer will come back to us.
How do you sell it to farmers? For example, if I'm a farmer, how do you sell it to me?
For the time being, it's just one-to-one B2B, never yet explore on G2G. My friends will go to any NGO, and then she will just go and ask, we have this system, if you want to use, this is how much it will cost.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Now, I'd like to invite the next venture, University Tunku Abdul Rahman.
Testing. Hi everyone, my name is Michael. I work at a not-for-profit university, Utah, that's surrounded by significant water bodies, lakes, rivers, and ponds that's supposed to suitable for different kind of the commercialization activities. Despite this potential, the people in my area consistently rank among the lowest in the GDP productions across the nation. Why? Last week, we have organized a workshop at my faculty regarding precision aquaculture for the farmers. During the workshop, the farmers showed their enthusiasm and interest to adopt into our innovative solutions to boost their farming productions. At the same time, the farmer also shared with us their insight and the problems or challenges in this fishery industry. In ASEAN, we have so-called abundance of the land, skilled human capitals, favorable weather, and not to forget the diverse fish species. However, aqua farmers in this region still lack of an accessible and affordable technological support in their operations. At the same time, the farmers keep on having calling for the help for us and asking any solution that we can help them throughout the process. Today, I'm here to present to you a solutions, okay, that use this so-called AIoT, artificial intelligence of things, to help the aqua farmers by integrating AI and the sensors for real-time monitoring, and also fostering collaboration where the aqua farmers can confidentially share with us their farming data and practices. We can drive innovations. With the farmer data, basically we are able to provide them the real insight and data-driven decision-making, which can help them to improve the productivity, reduce the losses, and also ensure long-term food security. Not only that, imagine aqua farmers having a chance to adopt a precision aquaculture solution for only half of the market price. So with this solution, we believe that our solution can really make a so-called revolutionize into this fishery industry. Compared to the existing solution, which mainly focuses on either sensor side or the server side analysis, our approach, okay, our edge to cloud, one box AIoT solutions focuses or adopt a more advanced machine learning model, which is able to provide the aqua farmers with a more comprehensive solution compared to the existing one, and also a more affordable one, definitely. In order to complement our solution, basically our revenue models emphasize on few things. First of all, we are trying to make an affordable and scalable subscription-based solution, subscription-based to our AIoT platform, which we also will continuously support and update the solution from time to time. Our team basically having the so-called members from different background, ICT, aquaculture industry, and also the engineering, where we are able to provide a more comprehensive solution compared to most of the market's available solutions. Last but not least, if you share our vision and also recognize our potential, we welcome all the investors to invest into our passion. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'd like to open the floor for the questions from our commentators.
Thanks so much for the presentation. My quick question is that, do you have any sort of strategy around customer success or capability development of the users? Because as you said, there's I think a huge gap in terms of what they want, but I think what they can do. So I just wonder if you have any views on that.
Actually, in order to answer the question from the commentator, as I showed in the second slide, just now, we just have a so-called workshop with the aqua farmers. So during the workshop, we are trying to understand well what is the problem exists in the industry, especially in my area, which is emphasized on the small and medium-sized aqua farmer. So they tell us, they do not need a really so-called a high or advanced technology, but they want a customizable and affordable version. That is why in our design, we keep on emphasizing affordable, because we use low-end solution, but integrate with the AIoT, artificial intelligence of things, to boost up their production. So this is actually what they want. Thank you. Yes, thank you.
What kind of data point that your AIoT is collecting?
So for the time being, because this is a localized solution for time being, so we need to have a so-called solve the problem of the cold start. That's why we try to use a data set available from the market to be the so-called preliminary model. However, that is not our ultimate aim. Because in our slide, we already mentioned, we welcome the farmers to share with us their farming data and practices. So we want that to be converted into the digital format so that we can build a so-called aquaculture knowledge base, which makes the data become more valuable for the future. This is what we want.
You mentioned sensors on your slide. What kind of sensors?
So for the time being, the sensor that we have, mainly on two categories. First one is the computer vision. We have the infrared version and the normal version. And we're also having so-called conventional type of the sensor like the pH, DOs, ammonia, so on and so forth. But that is not the main thing because, as we say, we are customizable. Means we cater and change the requirement according to the farmer needs. We have ICT and the engineering backgrounds, people doing that.
The computer vision sensor, so you're collecting the shading of the water. Is that what you're saying?
Okay. Basically, the computer vision models, right, we can use to cater for multiple purposes. For example, we were trying to use that to learn about the fish behavior, or also try to learn about their so-called feeding behavior.
Camera?
Pardon?
Is it a camera or is it a...
It's a camera, yes. It's an infrared camera. But of course, existing, the so-called low-cost camera having its own constraint. That's why we are always welcome to have a more investment, right, to build a bigger portion by advanced camera, if possible.
A quick question. I see you have a very high caliber team, but sort of all affiliated to the universities. Anyone full-time doing this?
So basically, all the so-called members in the university, right, we do not have a really so-called full-time researcher. But because of this UNDP grant, right, we try to spin out a possible startup company, right, to support the solution. Yes. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. Now, next, I'd like to invite Aquagentech.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Carlo from Aquagentech Philippines. Let me ask you a question. These are photos of tilapia and shrimp. Do these look normal to you? Hold on to your answers. We will answer that as we go along. Fun fact, did you know that aquaculture pandemics are caused by fish and shrimp viruses? Pandemics are not just present within us humans. Pandemics are also present in fish, shrimp, and the whole aquaculture industry. These are the signs of tilapia lake virus-infected fish, infected by TILV, the #1 pathogen in the tilapia lake industry. These are the signs of white spot syndrome virus-infected shrimp, the #1 pathogen or virus devastating the shrimp aquaculture industry. Diseases affect fisheries and aquaculture. This is the #1 problem among the shrimp and tilapia aquaculture industry. With billions of dollars of economic loss, millions of jobs lost, and more than 40 million livelihoods that are severely affected, just for WSSV and TILV infections alone. Now, let's answer my question. This tilapia is infected with tilapia lake virus. And this shrimp is infected by white spot syndrome virus. How can we detect the early signs of virus or disease? To prevent massive losses, massive outbreaks, to prevent the spread from ponds to ponds, farms to farms. Well, Aquagentech offers the solution, the ISDA, or Integrated System for Diseases in Aquaculture. With just 3 simple steps, SSS. Subscribe to our mobile application platform and monitor the health of your pond and farm. Scan your sample, tilapia for TILV and shrimp for WSSV. And send your results to your local government agency to help you prevent the massive outbreak and massive spread of the virus and infection. You can also receive science-based recommendation from scientists. So for our market size, here is our global market, Asian market, and Philippine market. We can acquire our revenue through upfront payment and annual subscription fee from our various customer segments. Our technology is the first in the world. It is fast, accurate, reliable, and user-friendly. It only uses a smartphone or handy phone for farmers and shrimp and tilapia farmers. It provides results real time. And we have been working with more than 20 shrimp and tilapia farmers or farms across the Philippines, impacting more than 20 shrimps and tilapia farmers, giving them more than $10,000 per hectare savings per farmer. Here is our dynamic team. And we are raising $500,000 for investments to enable a pathway to profitability for 3 years, and we are looking for partnerships and collaborations. You, me, all together, let us activate innovation for sustainable fisheries. #AI for AI. I hope to see you all at booth number 50. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I invite our commentators for your questions.
How much is the accuracy? The accuracy of you detecting the disease through camera?
Okay, thank you very much. A good question. We have trained our AI, and the training accuracy for the shrimp is 98%, and for tilapia, 97%.
How many data points you use for shrimp?
We have trained the AI based on the signs and symptoms of tilapia lake virus and white spot syndrome virus over 1,500 images. So the AI is trained using image-based prediction system, which uses IoT or Internet of Things, using more than 1,500 images.
The accuracy for disease detections on PCR is not up to 95%. How do you get to the point of 98%? How many actual results that you already done to get to the point where you can claim for 98% accuracy?
Currently, we are working with more than 20 shrimp and tilapia farms in the Philippines. Of course, PCR or molecular methods is the gold standard in detecting diseases and viruses. However, for this, it is the first technology of its kind in the world and uses the morphology-based detection through image-based detection system. So we base or train our AI through images, thousands of images of cases of tilapia and shrimps.
A bit of a cynical question, I think, but so if that's the detection by basically, analyzing the visual, for those who deal with the fish every day, you may be able to pick that up with your eyes anyway. So I guess my question was, what is the sort of incremental, additional benefit of using AI tool as opposed to experienced people's view?
So the AI can detect the early signs of the virus or diseases. So the AI can not only detect the obvious signs and symptoms of the disease. Say, for example, the early detection system for cancer in humans. So we also trained our AI to detect the early signs and symptoms of the disease. Aside from that, we also have the farmer's library. So the farmer can know the different methods on how to culture and properly manage the farm. We also have the farmer's diary, wherein the farmer can log in and monitor the health conditions of its farm or pond.
Yeah, I guess just related to that question, your solution is image-based, right? So actually you can also see it with your eyes. It's not like cancer, you have to use, scanner to see the diseases. Yeah, I guess I'm not quite sure about the value proposition for farmers to use that versus they go to the farm every day to see the shrimp or fish anyway.
Yeah, so for every infection that is detected in the farm, the farmer can lose up to $10,000 US, 6,000 for shrimp and 4,000 for tilapia. So that's the loss of each farm per hectare. So using the technology detecting the early signs of the virus and diseases, so the farmer can save this $10,000 US per hectare. So I think that's a very good value proposition in saving a lot of money and preventing the massive loss and massive outbreak and spread of the disease.
Thank you.
Because if you detect the virus in the farm, 7 to 10 days post-infection, 100% mortality in the farm.
Thank you. All right, thank you so much. Now I'd like to invite Agriculture of Lao.
Hi.
I'm afraid we have a clicker problem. The previous presenter left with a clicker. So if you can start, please feel free to. Okay. And we're trying to retrieve the clicker as fast as possible. I'm afraid maybe he left the room. Okay, we have the clicker. All right, a round of applause. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. We are Aquaculture of Laos. I'm agricultural economist. I used to work with the governments in aquaculture and agriculture sector for 23 years. I just quit my jobs 4 years ago and pursued for the entrepreneurs. But this also translates into the business model that I'm doing at the moment. So the problems in Laos, because Laos is only the ASEAN country that have no sea. So we are inland fisheries, especially Mekong fisheries is declining of the stocks. A lot of dams have been developed, it's blockaging, as we know. And with the aquaculture in Laos is very much traditional practice, low input, low incomes, and also weak supply chains. A lot of fingerlings has been imported from our neighboring countries, and low impact to rural communities because a lot of development programs, they give the fingerlings to the communities, but they don't know how to reproduce it. This is the questions. And, weak government support to aquaculture because of we are facing the low budget cut, budget deficit, aging infrastructures. But given that crisis, but there is an opportunity because a lot of fish hatchery stations belong to the governments is already been there, human resource already been there. So that's why we, Aquaculture of Laos, setting up within the years and then collaborate with the government, national government fishery stations. So our solution is we discuss with the government researchers, my colleagues anyway, and then try to find the hybrid fish hatchery systems by combining the traditional method but with smart technology. As you know that now technology is become more cheaper than before and is more applicable. So our objective, the solution is we try to increase the efficiency of the hatchings. This is we use some data driven to take a record. And as economics, I look for the reduced costs and try to find the high profits and look for the sustainability and how the rural communities could adopt this hybrid system. So all costing and revenue we have to calculate, and working with the government is one of the best. Yeah. So our core products, we signed the agreement with the National Aquaculture Research Centers. So they already produce fingerlings to the markets, but they produce more because of the low budget. So we collaborate with them, find the investment fund, and then we sell the high quality fingerlings, broodstocks, the parent fish, and also with their capacity because they are the expert. So we together we provide the training, technical training and support, and we provide nutrition and feeding programs, and also we link the clients and also rural farmers to the market linkage. So this is allows the demand of the Laos is 400 million fingerlings per year. So translate is about 13 million. So we try to capture 50% of the market, but quite ambitious. But our target market is commercial farms, farmer groups, development agency, NGO, government, and infrastructure projects. So this is our revenues, which is fingerlings, hatchery system, and technical consulting. And our achievements so far, we have designed MOU, and also we working with the government bank on the project is project number 3. And then the pyramid is our status at the moment. And these are the teams. We seek funding 150,000 for 20% equities. We want to expand the capacity. And thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I invite our commentators for your questions.
Thank you for the presentation. I'm actually very curious about the market of Laos. I think when we talk about aquaculture, typically the spotlight is always like Indonesia, Vietnam. Can you share a little bit more? Like typically the fish are domestically consumed or export. Can you share a little bit more?
Given because Laos have only 7 million people, and the domestic demand is hugely already, it could be profitable for like a SME or startup team. And then given we have a large water resource like hydropower dam surface, irrigation waters, and now there is an interesting case because Laos have the railways linked to China, and investor from China approaching to Laos to look for the opportunity to raise the fish and then re-export to China. One of the challenges is they need to find the fingerlings, and this is opportunity for the Laos company that could collaborate with them. So this is huge because Laos water's body is still clean compared to the other areas.
What stage is your solutions at the moment? Is it on ideations or are you already implementing in the broodstock facility?
Yeah, given the UNDP and Japanese government fundings, we are setting up, this is my partners, Tos, he's an IT expert, and then we set up improve the government hatchery systems, putting the sensor in, and then we record the real-time data on water qualities. And one of the things we found is their water filtration system is not good, have not been improved, so we fix that up. Yeah. At the moment, it's the stage, but the another stage is we also working with the government bank to identify the potential clients, and then we are providing consultings and writing the investment proposal, and we link to the market, and then we are doing economic analysis for them. Yeah.
Is there any differentiations from a broodstock facility who use your technology and the broodstock facility who hasn't?
The broodstock facility?
So your technology is for broodstock or for the hatcheries?
For the hatcheries at this station.
So what's the differentiation of hatcheries who use your solutions and the one that is not using solution yet?
At the moment, because we target the Mekong species, which is the spawning period time, the reproduction period time is in March, from March to October. At the moment, we're trying with the tilapia's hatcheries because it's produced every month. So we need more data on the Mekong species because it's more high value species.
Okay, if we are good with the question, then I will invite the next venture on stage, which is Gikoko Kogyo, Indonesia.
My good friend and a customer recently told me that his aunt has a shrimp farm up in where? Near Indonesia. And he tells me when he was a younger child, he loved going to his aunt because they made loads of money. Recently, the things have changed. Auntie is no longer happy because their crops frequently get destroyed. And the reason, because everybody decided to do the same. Many ponds became their neighbors, and they discharged their water into the sea, and somehow infection spreads everywhere. Sorry, my name is William. I'm from Gikoko. We are an industrial manufacturer based in Indonesia. This is the problem our friends and everybody who is involved in shrimp culture, aquaculture, is facing. Our business actually is industries. We have been selling ozone water generators, primarily to industrial users, hotels, residents, who use cooling towers for their AC. Ozone technology, well, ozone, as you probably know, is naturally occurring supercharged oxygen. It protects us from UV light, and it has wonderful properties, antibacterial, antifungal, antivirus. For the purpose of aquaculture, this technology has two merits. One is because it's oxygen-based, we oxygenate the water. And at the same time, we kill off anaerobic bacteria. These are the guys that we love them because they produce biomass, they're needed for biogas generation. But for fish, these are deadly. They eat the feces from the fish and they convert them into poisons. So once we nudge the water condition with with ozone, basically we favor the aerobic bacteria, and these are good for the fish. Basically, we took equipment to a fish farm in Situ Bondo, which is in Java, East Java. Area is supposed to be relatively free of infections. They had 40 ponds. We only did tests on one of them. Our pond came out with flying colors, actually. It was one of the 16 profitable ponds. Now, we can always say we're just lucky. Okay, 15 others made it without anything. I think the science is sound, so I think we're okay. And our proposition, well, this is the market size, and this is my team, by the way, and this roughly translates to 18,000 ponds in Indonesia. We just want to deal with 1%, 180 ponds within the first year. And for that, we need upfront $9 million to get ourselves ready, go and sell the stuff. If you sell them, the money's back. The farmers will get their money back in 2 years, which I think is reasonable given that they're wasting a lot of time feeding, seeding, and find themselves in trouble after
Thank you.
2 months.
Now I would like to open the floor for the commentators' questions.
Pak, the ozone filter, right?
Generator.
Ozone generator.
Yes.
So the ozone generator used for one ozone generator, one tank?
Depends on the size of the tank. So there's
let's say majority of shrimp farms in Indonesia is rectangles, not circular like what you're saying.
Yes, sure.
It's a rectangle 2,500 meters square. So how many ozone generator do I need?
So for each tank, we propose one machine.
For 2,500?
Correct, yeah. So we have a large-scale machine that costs roughly $70,000.
Your business model is subscriptions or sell?
No, this is self-sell. So simple model, we sell them.
How much is it?
$70,000.
$70,000? $70,000.
About 1 million, yeah.
Per one ozone filter?
Per pond, yes.
Per pond. 1 miliar, Pak?
Yeah, Pak.
Okay.
Is that big? I don't know. That's why we're in the
It's
so
very huge. So one pond, 2,500 meters square.
if we can guarantee an output, they'll make the money back in 2 years, rather than they waste their opportunities.
Yes, we are gonna make the money back in 2 years for only that ozone generator.
Of course, yes. That's why we want to sell 180, 1%.
Yes, but the return of farmers, ROI, for all of the ponds, for shrimp farms is 3 to 4 years. So adding your technology, the ROI will become
These are existing ponds. They've been making money and they've been losing money. And we're proposing...
How many devices that you need so that the cost can be 5% from the actual cost?
Sorry?
How many devices that you need to produce so that the price of your product is only 5% of your current product?
You want me to reduce the cost by 95%?
Yes. How many devices do you need?
I haven't thought of that. Sorry.
Can you do that?
Very interesting question. I'm afraid we have to go to another question.
Yes. Just make sure I understand correctly. So you are developing a nano bubble.
No, we're not developing. The product is here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is your technology then?
We're just assemblers. We just want to get it to the market.
Okay.
And we have integrated the system. That's the only difference. So
I see.
we talk to farmers. They say, yes, of course, they've heard of ozones. They've heard of UV. They've heard of everything. And they've been buying anything and everything to try and save themselves. We believe we have cracked it. in a box.
Got it. I guess my question would be, there are other nanobubble.
Of course, many.
Yeah.
And you can go online and buy anywhere.
How can you compete with them?
Because they're already in the market. We are just proposing that we put it in a box, so you can just buy it off the shelf. We do the rest.
Okay.
And they should see the output.
Yeah.
That's yeah. So
Right.
yes, in terms of competition.
Thank you so much. I'm afraid we'll have to
very,
stop here.
very tough. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
And we'll welcome the next venture, Pony Marine, on stage.
Hi, my name is Ty from Pony Marine. So we'll be talking a little bit about Ruma Fish today. So we build artificial reefs and fish homes. We use the latest in science and technology. We're combining AI, advanced modeling, and blue carbon and biodiversity credit research. So I've been diving for over 23 years now. I've been seeing a lot less fish in the water, and a lot of local reefs are damaged. So I started a dive center back when I was 23 years old. And we've been running over 8,000 youths now since then through our school programs. So we did the first ghost net cleanups, we did the first coral planting programs, and we just introduced reef balls to Brunei. Now, we have over half global fish stocks overfished. Nearly all the reefs could be gone by 2050. We have in places where there's bottom trawling, fishermen could be catching probably half of what they used to, and we have probably 500 million people that will be impacted by sea level rise. So what are governments doing around the world? They're spending hundreds of millions of dollars on artificial reef programs. Some of these are in the wrong places, they're using the wrong materials, and there's no fish or corals going there. So what I'm proposing is our project, 7 to 9 months, about $250,000 to $3 million, depending on scale, and we design it right for them. So we're looking at talking to stakeholders, interviews with fishermen, finding the fish they want. We learn as much as we can about the fish, and doing proper site selection studies. That includes hydrodynamic modeling, multi-criteria decision-making, particle tracking modeling, and we want to find out where there's trawling. So we're going to be using AI and seabed data and also satellite data, and we'll be finding out where it's happening so we can put reef balls there so the trawlers don't come back, because their nets will be torn if they're there. So some photos, fishermen interviews, our surveys on the right, and on the bottom are underwater surveys and sediment sampling as well. Next, we want to deploy them right. So we want to be using coral-friendly concrete, no metal. We want to make sure they last a long time. We want to design it right for the reefs, for the fishes. We're using partner technology, eDNA, AI bioacoustics, AI for fish ID and coral ID, and data buoy monitoring. We want to make sure to monitor it right, and we're working with leading marine institutes as well to make sure we can verify it so we can sell them for the credits. So a little bit on photos. So those are fabrication at the top, then we've got deployment, we've got coral planting, we've got some of the technology we're using at the bottom. So, and most importantly, we got to work with the community. So we've worked with probably a little bit over nearly 2,000 students now with our coral planting and our reef fabrication. We have as well a funding platform by our partner Jajakin that's ready to go once our product is ready, and the public can donate a few cents, a few dollars to plant the coral. The corporations can offset by donating to corals as well, and we can empower villagers to make the reef balls with their own hands, deploy with their own hands without any machinery to protect the coastlines as well. So the market's about $2-3 billion. And you can see the global blue carbon market is a lot more, up to nearly $200 billion. And Sarawak, nearby Brunei, so they've actually spent $30 million over the last 30 years to deploy 260,000 reef balls. These are all really big projects. Now, around the world, maybe 20 other companies doing this, but nobody doing what we're doing. Nobody has an integrated solution. So our profit, 25 to 40% profit per project. We can supplement with sale of credits. We've raised about $50,000 last year, some projects in the pipeline that'll go up to $2-3 million across the next 2 years. And we're going to be expanding across the Timor and also scaling up. We've actually signed some MOUs and won some awards as well.
Okay.
And some of the impacts over there, we've raised over 300 reef balls, over 2,000 students.
Okay, we have to
And
stop here.
The US team, over 30,
Thank
over
you
100
so
years
much.
experience, and asked for $450,000 for our first large-scale project. Thank you.
Okay. We invite the commentators for your questions.
Two quick questions. I guess one is it correct to understand your service is unique because it's integrated from reef ball to all the analysis and all that? And I guess the second one is how do you define your customer? Is that a community or government or maybe those two?
Okay, so as you saw, the projects are kind of expensive. They start from 250,000 up to 3 million. We have done smaller projects, pilot programs, maybe of $50,000 to $100,000, but we can't apply all the full technology that we want to do to that. So mainly our clients are government. Fisheries Department, Culture, Youth and Sports. We've been dealing with the Fisheries Department in Brunei. We're hoping to scale this up across the ASEAN market as well, but primarily government, because this is for the public good. The fishermen would not pay for this, but they would benefit from this. We have gotten corporate sponsors sponsoring 50,000, 30,000 to build reefs for the fishermen. So we've also done that as well. Thank you.
Okay, well, thanks for the presentation. And I love the name Ruma. Yeah, I guess related question. I guess, what exactly the problem you're solving? Is that the reef restoration? Because I see you have different parts.
Yes, so when we talk about reef building, we're doing reef building for two things. We're rehabilitating fisheries because the reefs are gone, but we're also rebuilding reefs. We're planting corals right onto it as well. So it's a few things. And one of the key things over there is bottom trawling. So bottom trawling is one of the most destructive activities in the ocean. So what we're able to do is when we put our reef balls in these areas, the trawlers don't come back because their nets will get torn. So it has been done in Sarawak very well. The areas where there are reef balls, the fish catch has gone up 400% over 10 years. So there's long-term studies on that. So then that's all the few things that we're dealing with.
I guess, can you explain a little bit about the reef ball? I'm not very familiar with that solution.
Sure. Yeah, so the reef ball, so our partner is Reef Ball Foundation, so they're based in Florida. They are the largest and global leader in artificial reef building. So they have built and deployed over 2 million reef balls around the world in over 80 countries. So we're an authorized reef ball contractor in Brunei. We got them to come over and train us. We were quite excited to hear about their technology. And it's basically a specially engineered dome. It's coral-friendly concrete. We put microsilica. We don't use any metal rebars. And there's multiple sizes. There's small ones to work with the students. There's big ones that go up to 3 or 5 ton that we deploy by barges that you saw as well. And they're great. There's voids in there. The fish can go and lay eggs in there.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. Now, I'd like to invite next.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Patty Aquaculture.
Hello, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon everybody. So we are Fatih Aquaculture from Brunei Darussalam. Let's start with this picture here. That's me proudly harvesting a fish during my slim days. Now I'm happily married, Alhamdulillah. So we have been a fish farming company for several years, and throughout the years we have faced challenges and also observed what was the pain points of us as farmers. So today we'll be talking about one of our major problems, which is the lack of fish fingerling supplies in our country. So in the present, the aquaculture industry is increasing in Brunei. So there are more players coming in to do aqua farming. And with that, it leads to the high demand of these fish fingerlings. So even if us as a farmers wants to build a land-based hatchery, it costs quite much. It requires high capital and land area. So throughout this program, we have created a solution, which is the floating sea-based hatchery. So this floating sea-based hatchery runs 24/7 with the use of PV solar power system. and it utilizes the natural water environment, so the fishes doesn't need to adapt and acclimatize to a new water environment. So this solution helps us to venture in terms of tackling this demand and the lack of supplies, also venturing into sustainable farming. So this is in the Brunei context. The early potential clients, we value it at $300,000. So imagine if this were in the Southeast Asia context. So how this system makes the revenue, we focuses on selling the fish fingerlings to the local suppliers, to the local fish farmers. And also in the future, we would like to do the consultation workshops to those who wants to adopt this technology. Yeah, so just a little bit a backstory of our company. We've started fish farming as a backyard farm 5 years ago. And as the time goes, we have been expanding to sea catch farming. And now we have 2 farms with 350 cages. And now after joining this program, we are venturing into sustainable farming methods. And we'll start producing these fish fingerlings using the floating sea-based hatchery to the local farmers. Yeah, so just a bit traction of our company. We've won several awards, and one of the notable awards were the awards by His Majesty, the Sultan of Brunei, for the Youth Excellence Project Award. And this is our dynamic team. So myself, I have a background of marine science, also experience in industrial training on a Biomarine Research Institute in Malaysia. And my friend here, Abdul Muid, is an water quality expert. So today, we're looking for potential clients and potential suppliers. And in the future, we would like to have collaborations to further improve and upgrade the hatchery system. So, thank you. That's from us.
Thank you so much. I'd like to invite our commentators for your questions.
Thanks for the presentation. Just being curious as to why floating system is cheaper than the on-land system.
So if in Brunei, the average of doing the land-based system, because we need to have a land area, and also to build the concrete, all the system, all the electric wirings, it costs around $500,000 to start. So with the grants from UNDP, it's roughly around $30,000. And in fact, we actually have produced the fingerlings already as of last week. Yeah.
Thank you.
Your system, for the hatcheries, is on the sea, right?
Yes,
it's
on
like
the sea.
I forget the name of in English, but anyway, because it's in open sea, how do you mitigate the contaminations of the, probably disease, bacteria, etc. from the sea to the fingerlings?
So we haven't actually thought of mitigating those, because currently the main point of we're creating this hatchery is we're utilizing the natural water environment, and then the fish that breeds in the natural environment can adapt it to the natural water and can be stocked in directly to the sea catch farm. Because some of our farmers' problem, even if we do import the fishes from other countries, it has a long route of logistics. So this contributes to the stress to the fish and usually can cause the mortality death rate to the fishes. So this is just one of the advantages of making the sea-based hatchery. It reduces the death rate by having the fishes already adapted from their small age.
Yeah, help us understand about the market size and I guess what is the go-to-market strategy? Are you selling the like the small fishes, or you're selling the hatchery system?
Yeah, so for the early clients, since this is a prototype, so we'll be stabilizing the operations first, and then we'll try to sell the low death rate fingerlings to the locals. And when it's proven, we will likely to go as a consultation service and the adoption of technology throughout the region in Southeast Asia.
But your solution is actually a very interesting local solution because the land may be, Brunei is very expensive. It might not be the case in other countries.
Yes.
All right, we're going to stop the questions here and we welcome the next venture, Technosen Institute of Public Works and Transport.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Afternoon, everyone. A little bit nervous. Yes. Yes, you can call me Boray. I'm from Technosen Institute of Public Works and Transport in Cambodia. So today I would like to share you our initiative idea on the future food by aquaponic recirculation powered by sun. So in our country, the main problem in the fish farm that we observe it is the overfeeding. That I'm not quite sure that in your country overfeeding is a problem or not, but in our country, we estimate, I estimate in 1 cubic meter of pond water, we lost money around $1.7. Yes, because of feeding and another controlling the water quality. So how can we recover those money back to produce another valuable product? So I'm now here to share you our idea to bring the solution home. So our idea, it is produce the aquaponic recirculation system. It is a new, different from the existing one that we use at one biological treatment system. It is the small, compact one, but capable to produce the fertilizer with very high amount. From our system, we can produce 6 cubic meter of fertilizer that we spend around 40,000 to 80,000 US dollar for installation. And we use electricity consumption 0.75 US dollar per day. If you use solar system, it is costless. Right? Yes. So from this system, we can raise the vegetable in hydroponic system around 600 head, and the farmer can harvest around 6 kilograms per day, and the effluent quality can directly discharge back to the farm with safety. And we already tried to grow with various species of vegetable, and we found that the growth rate of those vegetables is comparable with the conventional hydroponic system. And we start to learning about the income that we can revenue from, that we can earn from the system. So we can earn the revenue around 22.5 US dollar per day, and is the net profit that we can earn from the system is around 6.6 US dollar. That the farmer can be return of investment, we estimate around 1.7 to 4 years. Yes. And if we look at the market for the system in Cambodia we have more than 700 farms. And if we can get 20% of them, I think that we can successful in the first stage. So to complete or to achieve our commitment to approach our system in the market, I think that our team, we want to scale up the system that can produce the fertilizer 60 cubic meter per day, that the farmer can earn the revenue around 180 to 220 US dollar per day. Yes, this is the second phase that we are thinking about. And however, we are the university, public university, so we cannot run the business, but we can provide you such as these three services. And this is our core team that in our university. And thank you so much for your for your attention. Yes.
So much. I'd like to invite the commentators for your questions.
The system that you built required an area, right?
Yes, yes.
How do you solve the issue with fish farmers who already utilize all of his area for ponds? So there is no room area for this technology. is there any future development where your technology, your module can be implemented on top of the ponds, for example?
Yes, yes. This is the question that a farmer also asked me as well, that how can they culture on the pond? Yes, it is possible, yes. But we have to make another more infrastructure, yes.
But for North, do you only see this only be implemented in the farmers who has more land? Or, because currently most of the farmers use their lands only for ponds.
Yes.
There is no room or other area for us to build this module.
But I never think about that. But for our system, we don't require the big area. It is just only the compact one that we build.
If I have 10,000 meter cubic of tilapia farms, how many area do I need the system with?
If you have 10, I think that maybe 10 meter wide and around 20 meter length.
For 1,000 square meter?
Yes, yes.
What's the value proposition of your solution? My understanding is that by having this is it hydroponic?
Aquaponic system.
Aquaponic system. You can treat the water.
Yes.
And then, that treatment can be used to grow vegetables.
Yes.
I guess, for a farmer, they would do like cost benefit analysis. If they use just traditional water waste management system versus yours, how is that, I guess, cost compared?
Yes. We from this part, if they don't use our system, it means that they will waste the money, $1.7 per day per cubic meter. Yes, for the farm operation nowadays. But if they install our system, at least they can get the net profit that I estimate $6.6 for our small system. But if they increase to the larger system, they can earn more than that. Yes.
Well, I think our time is up, but is it enough to get a small system? Because you have to, treat all the water, right? Anyway, so.
For our system, we can scale up. It depends on the size of the farm. Yes. If they provide us the size, how many ponds they have, we can customize our system based on that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And this is the last venture before the break, right? So we have Yayasan Sinergi Aquaculture Indonesia for the last venture before the break.
So, good afternoon, esteemed commentator and everyone. My name is Retno. I am representing Yayasan Sinergi Aquaculture with Kenny, my colleague here. So, let's talk a bit about shrimp this afternoon, although actually I'm a bit nervous because we have our Indonesian icon girl for shrimp. When talking about shrimp, it takes up the second largest seafood export in Indonesia. However, this industry, behind the dollars earned, this industry unfortunately still generate a significant waste that if not properly managed, it may degrade coastal ecosystem and impact the production at scale. So, with the top producer countries' competitive dynamics, to sustain the production, it seems it's pretty critical for us to start tackling the sludge management issue, especially for our nation, to maintain our production for the domestic and export activities. Now let's imagine if we are able to transform this sludge that we think as waste into something that benefiting economically, but then it can also contribute to coastal cleaner. So let us introduce you to EcoVert, where we transform shrimp sludge into eco-fertilizer, organic fertilizer. How we compare our EcoFert to the other existing leading products. So in our EcoFert products, this raw material already offer with a high nutritional content, because basically shrimp feed that is not used, it is already contain NNP. The second is that with the abundance availability of the sludge, it can still be optimized as compared with the existing materials. And the third is that we develop this as a community-based product. So looking into market size, this is quite challenging, but we aim to target at least 1% of the Indonesian organic fertilizer product, which means we aim to produce 12K ton of shrimp sludge, 12K ton of fertilizer generated from 20K ton of shrimp sludge. The possibility is there because in the last 6 months, we are able to validate the pilot to produce the prototype of our EcoFert, involving 100 farmers to be trained, along with our respective partners, the government of Situbondo and Shrimp Farmer Association. From the pilot that we have done, we are able to effectively convert 50% per ton of shrimp sludge into organic fertilizer. In terms of market strategy, we are overseeing these 3 main channels. The first is, of course, the community-based network. The second is on B2B partnership. And the third is on institutional partners. So when projecting our 5 years journey ahead, in the first or initial years, we aim to strengthen our core system, of course, and refining our product, because the last 6 months we are still testing, and allow you to introduce to our diverse team. And we thank UNDP for allowing us this opportunity. Now we would like to scale our impact to fundraise 150K. And we would be very interested to further discussion. And please join us in transforming pollution to solution, waste to wealth. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Commentators, please feel free to ask your question.
Oh, I see a Jala's logo is there.
I don't know, should I comment or not?
Yeah, just question. Yayasam is non-profit. So are you raising investment or are you raising a grant? That's first question. Second question, yeah, can you, I guess, talk us through the process of getting the sludge from the shrimp farms? Like, do you have to stop the operations to get the sludge out? Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thank you for the question, but first I'd like to thank to Jala because we collect the sludge from Jala Farm, basically. So maybe Mas Kenny would like to answer?
Yeah, basically we are NGO, and for now, basically we're seeking a grant to conduct development for this project, because it's initial project, first pilot, it is fresh idea, because Indonesia had a lot of problem, but nobody used that sludge. So yeah, that is. Pardon, for the second question?
Process of getting the sludge.
The process for?
Process of getting the sludge.
Yeah, process for getting sludge. We are getting sludge for the farmer who already have a water treatment plant. So mostly the water treatment plant is like Jala have now in Situbondo is dry water treatment plant. So we can easily collect the sludge.
Is there any disruption to the current kind of operations of the shrimp farms? Do they have to stop the operation of the shrimp farming? No. Okay.
I just wanted to add a bit on that. So basically, in terms of sludge collection, of course, once the farm is operating, it is pretty challenging to collect the farm. But then, in the end of final harvest, we may use like something like geotech, yeah, Mas, to more effectively collecting the sludge. Yeah. We are thinking about to producing some kind of chamber that is quite implemented at farm, because the farm is pretty scratch located in different areas. So we are thinking about that way as well.
I guess why did you pick fertilizer as a byproduct? Because I've been seeing some, not really trend as such, but I think some people try to achieve more high value added product coming from the waste, more for not necessarily pharmaceutical, but actual high value product rather than fertilizer, which tend to be relatively cheap in terms of the market price.
That is a very unique question. If we may share our story, basically it's a unique story as well, because basically our background in Yayasan is very strong in working with shrimp farmers. And then with these shrimp farmers, we promote best practices, improvement at farm, and one of the biggest challenges in how to encourage them to manage their effluent, right? And then basically it is easy to be done. Farmers should know how to manage it, but then maybe not so many people quite open to do that. So that's also the reason why we are trying to use this sludge as the raw material.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. All right, and this is the end of the very first 10 ventures. Now feel free to go on a break. We have 15 minutes, and we're gonna restart at 23. Right, so exactly 15 minutes from here, so it's going to be 23. But feel free to come back anytime, and hopefully a little bit before the next venture starts. Okay, have a great break, and see you next pitch 23.